Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Macomb High School for the final time during the regular season for boys basketball as Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling brings Bomber Sports to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. I'm Dwayne Hulett. John Burton is alongside. Joey Yelnick up on the camera tonight as the Monmouth-Roseville Titans are in the house, and the Macomb High Pep Band is here as well. And John, the fresh soft contest was what some might call entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great fresh soft game. A game that was decided, I believe, that was by 5 points there down the stretch. We had a lot of stoppages to play in the fourth quarter. Both coaches using basically all their timeouts. And really the deciding thing in that game was that technical foul right at the end that Noel picked up. That led to two Bombers made free throws, and of course the Bombers getting possession. But that was one heck of a basketball contest. Things really heated up there in the third and fourth quarters, both sides battling back and forth. And we're kind of hoping for the same thing here in the varsity game. These two teams have met already once this season. Macomb won that game by a score of 66-47. That was just last month on the 20th, January 20th that is. And again, that game ended 66-47. That game was up at Monrose. So the Titans will travel down here to the hangar to try to avenge that loss here to the home team Bombers.
An old Olympic Conference matchup between these two teams, John, and these two teams have had a storied rivalry even way back before it was Monmouth-Roseville, and it was just the Monmouth Zippers. And these two teams have for years been very closely contested games. It's not very often you see a 20-point win by either team. So I would expect that this one will probably be a little different as we work through tonight's contest. We'll see a couple different names on the floor for the Titans that we haven't seen this year as well. Calgaro Sarcoma, Valergio Zarcoma, I believe. We'll listen to Jake say that again. He told me in passing is a Sarcomo is a kid that did not play earlier this year, but he's in the starting lineup tonight. So we'll have a few different people in the game tonight. Darian Smith, number 4, a player to watch. Nico Avendano is another player to watch. So they do have some players. They have some guys. They have some size. They have some speed. They can, if the Bombers don't come to play tonight, the Titans can most definitely hang and reverse the roles that they saw the last time.
Yeah, absolutely. Macomb coming into this contest 23-5. Monrose just under 500, 14-15. But as you mentioned, Mr. Aiden Almagar, Darian Smith, and of course Nico Avendano, the three of the seniors on this Monmouth-Roseville team, they played really well in the holiday tournament. And just having those three guys on your team, they can come out here and really they can put up a fight against any team, I feel.
Yeah, and they've been ranked pretty high throughout the year as far as in the area people think to be a good team. Of course, the Bombers have their own big guns, right, with starting with Dion Doyle, number 10. They kind of go as he goes in a lot of nights.
Yeah, he had a huge night the other night against Camp Point Central. Really got the Bombers ignited in the second half, and I believe he finished with a game-high 22 or 24.
We're going to let Jake Croxton take over for just a second here as there's a brief introduction here, I do believe, and then
Ladd on qualifying for the IHSA State Wrestling Tournament in Bloomington on February 2024. This is the third time she's advanced to state wrestling meet. In 21-22, Kelly qualified for the inaugural girls wrestling season as a freshman with a record of 19-14 against both boys and girls. Last year, she qualified in place 6 with a record of 32-8. In doing so, she became the first All-State girls wrestler for Macomb High School. This year, Kelly enters the state tournament with a record of 25-7. That brings her to a career record of 76 wins and 28 losses. She has joined an elite group of Macomb High wrestlers with a year to go. 4-time state qualifier was Troy Protzman, 3-time Kurt Myers, 4-time Austin Miller, 3-time Ethan Ladd, and now 3-time Kelly Ladd. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask that you please rise, if you're able, the Macomb High School Pep Band, directed by Mr. Doug Matsey, will perform for you.
now the starting lineup brought to you by Jake Croxton.
And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. Introducing first, the visiting Monmouth-Roseville Titans. At guard, a 5'10" senior, number 3, Jake Steele. At guard, a 6'2" senior, number 4, Darian Smith. At a third guard, a 5'10" sophomore, number 23, Kojiro Sartomo. And one forward, a 6'2" senior, number 22, Eden Almagar. And at forward, a 6'3" senior, number 34, Nico Avendano. Jake Soto sends up the tight bench, assisted by Ethan Sikorsky and Tanner Schreck. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Macomb Bombers. At guard, a 5'11" sophomore, number 1, Drew Watson. At guard, the 6'1" senior, number 3, Connor Bishop. At forward, a 6'1" junior, number 12, Braden Holthouse. At forward, a 6'7" senior, number 20, Ian Case. And in the middle, a 6'5" senior, number 10, Dion Doyle. Jeremy Anderson heads up the bomber bench, assisted by Brian Langworthy, Zach G, Justin Ellison, and Pierre Grant. Tonight's officials are Kennedy Gooding, Brad Gooding, and Dave Hansley.
So there you have the starting lineups for tonight's contest, brought to you by the ever-famous Jake Croxton here at Macomb High School. As we get ready to go, it is Jake Steele, a 5'10" senior, number 3, Darian Smith, a 6'2" senior, number 4, number 22, Aiden Almagar, a 6'2" senior, Valergo Sarcomo, a 5'10" sophomore, number 23, and Nico Avendano, number 34, a 6'3" senior. And Connor Bishop is going to pick up the first foul for the Bombers just 12 seconds in, as the Bombers get an offensive foul and a turnover early in this one. For the Bombers starting, number 1, Drew Watson, a 5'11" sophomore. Number 3, Connor Bishop, the 6'1" senior. Dion Doyle, the 6'5" senior, is the man in the middle. A 3 on the way by Jake Steele. And he hits the triple to start things off with. Also out there, number 12, Braden Holthouse, a 6'1" junior. And number 20, a 6'7" senior, Ian Case. Those are the starters for the two teams here tonight. 7:18 to go in the first quarter. It's 3-0 Monmouth-Roseville, and Dion Doyle gets on the scoreboard first for the Bombers and gets his first 2. Two teams that know each other very well, John. They see each other at least a couple times a year, sometimes more than that at different tournaments and so on and so forth. A storied rivalry, which should be good the rest of the way. And there's Avendano with the bucket. Nico Avendano gets his first bucket, the 6'3" senior. I had you turned down. Did you try to talk?
I did not.
That's good, because I felt bad.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have felt bad.
I would have.
Hey, I wanted to point out, take a quick look at Dion Doyle's shoes, man. He's got the gold shoes on here tonight. Those things are shining all over the place. I don't know if he usually rocks those. It's the first time I've noticed those this season, though.
Yeah, those are some pretty bright shoes. They got orange shoestrings in them, though. I want to say hi to Larry Hicks, who's apparently here tonight, sent me a message telling me how loud, as the ball's thrown away, intended for Holthouse. He was telling me how loud the drums were on the far side of the gym.
Yeah, I mean, you can feel them behind. Every time they pound those things, you feel your whole body kind of shake around a little bit.
Yeah, he was just rubbing in the fact that he was over there and we were sitting right in front of them. But that's okay. We still love you, Larry. So the Titans with the basketball. It's a 5-2 game. Titans with the lead. Smith with it, far side. Almagar gave it to him. Now Smith's going to drive all the way in. Pump fake, puts it up backwards, and it rolls off. Tipped around, and finally Dion Doyle comes in. Well, you like to see Darian Smith go right strong to the hole. He kind of did a reverse layup when he didn't really have to kind of thing there.
Yeah, he kind of had Holthouse on his back hip there, it looked like, and we'll see one of those gold shoes just slid right off the foot of Dion Doyle there. We're going to get stopping the play.
Or they need to tie a little tighter.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe the gold's weighing him down, you know.
Stuck to the floor.
Something like that.
Anything's possible, I suppose. Doyle with it. Looks down low to Watson. That's not the person you'd expect to see that. Ian Case for three, top of the key. It's off, no good. Darian Smith has the rebound. It's stripped away by Bishop. He turns around and puts it up, and Connor Bishop gets his first two of the night. The senior playing his final home game, and all the seniors here doing that for the Bombers tonight, and it's all been senior scores so far. Avendano gets the rebound and the putback. He's got 4.
Avendano is one heck of a player. I was really impressed with him watching him at the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. You know, he's a big guy. He kind of plays that center position for this Monmouth-Roseville squad, but not afraid to step out, shoot the three, handles the ball, plays good defense. He's a really good one there for the Titans.
Yeah, he was the player of the game for them at the Great Western Shootout up in Abington Avon High School. Down low, Avendano gets beat by Case, but Case can't finish. He had a good look there, John, just couldn't put it in the bucket.
Yeah, he kind of had Avendano sealed out there, and
Avendano returns the favor by drawing a foul on Ian Case at the other end. Be his first, team second of the quarter. 4:34 to go in quarter number 1.
And those two really familiar with each other. During the warm-ups of the JV game, they sat basically right out here in front of us. They probably talked Avendano and Case for, I would say, 30 to 40 minutes before the game started on the JV side. So those two definitely know each other really well. Darian Smith will pick up 2 there down low for the Titans.
Nearly got a steal there. Holdhouse to Doyle. Doyle puts the shot up, and he'll get it to fall. Doyle's got 4. 9-6 the score. 4:10 remaining. Avendano, as John said, likes to shoot the 3 as well. Can't get it to fall there. Little spin move. Good ball handling skills for Holdhouse right there, and he's going to go to the rack. Puts a shot up, no foul call. Doyle gets the rebound. Turnaround jumper, good. He's got 6.
Quick 6 for the Bombers lead man, Dion Doyle, and he's really crawled the Bombers back into this one, and they found themselves in a hole early on.
It was 9-2, a 6-0 run. 3 on the way by Almagar is good. Aiden Almagar, the 6'2 senior, gets the bucket. A 3. It's back to a 4-point game. Titans have come out really shooting the rock well. A nice pass across the lane, and Ian Case leaves it short again. It's going to go off the Titans out of bounds. It'll be Bomber basketball. Malachi Conley and Jake Hobson checking in as Ian Case struggling here early. Having a conversation with Dion Doyle. Him and Almagar are doing battle already. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
What on earth did he do? Just because you talk to him does not mean that the other guy can push him. That's horrific.
Yeah, you know, Dion kind of had his arm slightly wrapped around Almagar there, but I really think a lot of it was that conversation that they just had, maybe just watching him a little closer there, looking for something to call on him.
Almagar was pushing him. Almagar knew he was going to draw the foul if he did anything, and now Almagar is going to get one himself.
Things are already kind of starting to heat up here in the first quarter. You know, Dion always plays with a lot of emotion on his sleeve, but definitely tried to, you know, get back at Almagar there, taking it hard to the rim.
Both free throws good. Ian Case checks back in. Dion Doyle checks out. Probably just to get a cool-down session on the far side, which probably is a good call from Coach. And he's still having a conversation over there. And Jake Steele's going to lay one up and in as he took it to the rack. He's got 5 on Drew Watson. 2:42 to go. Still a 4-point game.
Nice ball movement there by the Bombers. And Case blows another one right at the rim.
Case is in his head now. He needs to get a shot to fall here to that's a travel.
They're going to get a timeout off the forehand. Sarcomo dived on that one, rolled over, but so they got the timeout called beforehand. Man, Casey's having one heck of a ball game right now, and you can tell he's definitely beating himself up about it.
Yeah, Ian is struggling from the field, and he's showing some emotion, which is tough to do this early in the game. It's 14-10. Bombers trail the Titans by 4, but it feels like the Titans are playing way better than the Bombers, but they're only up by 4.
Yeah, you know, like you said, this Titans squad, you look at their record below 500, but they can really come out here and put it on you. Like I said, they got a nice ball club over there. And one of the people that we didn't talk about beforehand was number 3, Jake Steele. And he's coming into this game. He's got 5 points. He's the leading scorer for the Monmouth-Roseville Titans. He's just a really crafty point guard. He shoots it from outside well, defends well on the other end. It's another nice player on this Titans squad. They got a lot of good athletes over there in Monmouth-Roseville.
Peyton Thompson, number 11 in the game. Drew Watson picks up the foul, his first, team's 4th. That means the Titans will be in the bonus after this. I almost feel like that the officials are trying to take control of this game before it's lost control. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, a little bit. We've seen a couple, I guess you call it maybe questionable foul calls. Maybe just, I don't really know.
Dunk that. Layup's good for Ian Case.
We'll see if maybe that layup can get Case going here.
I'd just like to see him dunk it for mentality purposes, if that makes any sense at all. Steele with it. Almagar. Sarcomo. Nope, that's not. That was Thompson.
Yep.
Hobson with it down low. His shot up hard off glass, no good. Foul's going to be called. Avendano maybe. It is on Nico Avendano, his first, team second. Jake Hobson at the free throw line shooting 2. He has not scored yet. 1:13 to go in the first quarter. First one is no good. Number 13, Ethan Clark checking in for the Titans. And Deion Doyle ready to check back in. Hobson's second free throw. Doyle's ready to check in for him. He makes it, he'll leave. Also in for the Titans, Damo Theobo. 1:10 remaining. Bombers have cut the lead to 1 at 14-13. Theobo has it knocked away by Ian Case. Conley brings it up the floor in a hurry. He goes down to Doyle. Oh, Watson got himself too far underneath the basket. Couldn't decide whether to go reverse from the right side or take it up with the left, and left it short with the left. See what I did there?
I did. That was a nice find by Doyle. Had his back to the basket, just flipped it right over to Watson. But like I said, just couldn't catch you in a good position there. Just right underneath the basket.
Steele with it. Gives it off to Clark. Back to Steele. 18 seconds left. Back and Conley in. It's Thompson. Theobald. Thibault gets the bucket, his first. 3 on the way by Watson. A sports corner 3 at the buzzer for Drew Watson, and he knocks it at 16 at the end of the first quarter. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with the second quarter right after this on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on the field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
Welcome back to Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. As they're going to have some conversations before the Titans break their huddle. I think they might have had some conversations with the Bombers before they broke theirs as well. It'll be Titan basketball to start the second quarter. No jump balls in the first quarter. So will be Bomber basketball in the next jump ball.
Finicum is checked into the game for the Titans, as well as number 10, Andy Myers, and we're going to have a off-the-ball foul here. That's going to be charged to – who'd they get there? Was there a foul?
I think it was a carry.
Or am I tripping?
I think it was a carry.
I was looking down at the rosters, not watching the game. That's my bad.
Doyle, turnaround, good. He's got 10. Ian Case with the assists, 18-16. Looking down low, basket up and in for Almagar. Aiden Almagar gets the bucket. He's got 5. Finicum is a kid that, a senior that doesn't start, but he plays really well for the Titans as well.
Yeah, brings a lot of hustle, good defender. Saw a lot of that at the Monmouth-Roseville CMEC. He's going to get in on the action there.
Watson tried to save it in, stepped on the sideline first.
Yeah, kind of contested Watson there towards the corner and is able to force the turnover. And again, it's those plays that, that's not going to show up in the score sheet, but that's going to get another possession for Monmouth-Roseville.
6:50 to go in the first half. Finicum with it. Avendano over to Darion Smith. Ooh, that was that carry that they called the last time on Myers. Finicum again. They're playing a bunch of people, are the Titans. Smith puts up a shot, tried to get it up over Doyle. John, it just did not work.
No, not quite. Doyle had Smith, he's got a couple inches on there. Doyle did a nice job contesting it.
Holdhouse with it. 6:05 remaining. Down to Doyle. Doyle puts the shot up. Off, no good. Ball on the floor. Darion Smith comes up with the rebound. 5:55.
Pretty sure Avendano got a piece of that one on the way up from Doyle. Doyle had him beat, had him nice sealed out towards the basket, but Avendano was able to just pick up a block there from behind.
Almagar gives it to Avendano. Ian Case guarding him. Now Doyle back on Almagar. Holdhouse nearly a steal. Got a hand on it, couldn't get it away. Almagar. As the Bombers playing some really good man defense here.
Yeah, and that's one thing the Bombers have really hung their hat on this season. They are a really nice defending team.
And that's just an unfortunate situation, as Finicum was where Darion Smith wanted to land. Finicum and Myers take a seat. Checking back in is Sarcomo and Steele. .5:10 remaining in the first half. It's tied at 18. Both teams have scored 2 points here in the quarter. Holdhouse wanted a pick over there, and Case didn't come give it to him. Now, Malachi Conley, he's going to go give the pick to Case. 4:44, 3 on the way by Doyle, off no good. Rebound to Almagar, and Sarcomo is going to send it up the floor now. Aiden Almagar with it again. Pull-up jumper, baseline left side, off no good. Watson with the rebound is going to outlet it to Case. Another layup is good for Ian Case. He's got 4 points. 4:20 remaining in the first half. Bombers up by 2 after the layup. Almagar wanted a 3, thought better of it. Avendano, right wing. There's the steal. Sarcomo for 3. He'll hit it. Belligio Sarcomo gets the triple. Titans up by 1. Holdhouse, pump fake. Dumps it out to Watson for 3. He nails a sports corner 3 for Drew Watson, his second sports corner 3 of the game. And the Bombers lead by 2 again. Avendano with it down low. Tries to fake the ball fake with Case. Didn't work. Then a shot by Almagar off no good. Just wasn't anybody there for either team to rebound that one. Avendano finally tracks it down. Out of bounds. Hobson replaces Ian Case with 3:17 to go in the first half. Brayton Holdhouse, Drew Watson, and Dion Doyle have all been on the floor the entire time, right? Those 3 have not left the game. The subs have been.
Doyle checked out a little bit there in the first quarter.
Did, didn't he?
Yeah, it's just been Holthouse and Watson have been out there the whole time for the Bombers. And
Malachi Conley came in about halfway through the quarter for Bishop and hasn't left either in the first quarter, I should say.
That's kind of what they do with Conley. They bring him in off the bench. He provides a little more shot creation for the Bombers squad off the bench other than Bishop. Bishop more of a spot-up shooter, defender type guy.
Como gets his 5th point. Watson, 3, top of the key. Off no good. Rebound to Steele. 2:32 to go. Tied at 23. Should have kept track of. That goes off of Smith, out of bounds. Should have kept track of ties and lead changes. It's been a bunch of them already here, and we're 2:27 to go in quarter number 2.
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier in the season that that game was decided by 19 points up in Monrose, and it was a lot closer game so far to this point. And that's really what you'd expect out of these 2 teams. 2 really nice ball clubs here.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, didn't we? That it's not very often that this no matter which team's better, those kind of games don't happen in this rivalry very often. Watson gets it out to Conley, who gets called for the travel. Say hi to Blake Driscoll. Yeah, it was Blake. That's kind of what I thought too. Little Debbie, we'll see if they should dominate or not. Maybe they should, but these Titans players play John bigger than they are, I think.
Yeah, I was going to point that out. Macomb, obviously, vertically they have the height advantage, but players like Avendano, he gives up a couple inches there on the defensive end, but he just plays so hard. He's a big body down there. Like as you mentioned, this Monroe squad, they play a lot bigger than physically, physically what they show.
What quick hands on the other end by Drew Watson to get that steal. Now he's going to spin move, go to the rack, high off the glass. Can't get it to fall. It's going to go out of bounds off Jake Steele, and it will be Bomber basketball 23-23. The score, checking back in, is going to be number 11, Peyton Thompson. Jake Steele is going to take a seat. 1:17 remains. Not been a lot of offense here in the second quarter. Just 7 points apiece.
Yeah, this thing is really slowed down here in the second quarter compared to where we were at in the first quarter. Also no fouls to this point on either side.
Malachi Conley gets his first 2 points, and he kind of made that work, didn't he?
Yeah, that might have sparked a little bit on this Bombers side. That was a nice layup there by Conley. Good mid-air adjustment.
Hobson with a steal as Sarcomo tried to bring it up as Hobson came to help and then brought it up to pass to Hobson's guy, and Hobson stepped right in the passing lane and took it away. Bombers look like they might be content to hold for one shot unless they get a real easy layup here with 31 seconds remaining.
Okay.
20 seconds remaining. Hobson with it. 13, 12, 10 seconds remaining. 7, 6, 5.
Got to go here.
4, 3, and he lost it after all that. Three-quarter court shot falls to the floor, and that's how the first half comes to an end. 25-23, Bombers with the lead here at the end of the first half of play. And 10 points to lead all scorers for Dion Doyle. 5 points the most for anybody on the Titans roster. We'll take a break here and have a word from our title sponsor, McDonough District Hospital. You're watching Aaron Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
As you know, MDH is our title sponsor here on TSSR Game Time Live, and we're here with Lindsay Douglas, the Director of Physician and Provider Recruitment. I about left out provider out of that. So Physician and Provider Recruitment here at MDH. It's a huge mouthful for me, so explain to us what that is.
Sure. So I am in charge of bringing in candidates for both physician and provider positions here at MDH. So provider meaning anything like nurse practitioner, advanced practice nurse practitioner, physician assistant, things like that. So I source those candidates, bring them in, and try to find the best providers and physicians to provide care at our facility.
So you found a home at MDH. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? How long have you been here? Stuff
Sure.
like that.
So I am from Macomb originally. I graduated from Macomb High in 2009, graduated from WIU in 2014, studied communication there, and started my career in politics and worked for a couple different state representatives and state senators. Then found myself in the educational realm for a little while at the Regional Office of Education, and eventually found myself here at MDH. I started here in February of this past year. I started out as patient advocate, and this role opened up, and I'm now in the role of Director of Physician and Provider Recruitment.
Obviously, McDonough District Hospital, very important to Macomb.
Sure.
And it's the communities not only of Macomb, but Bushnell, Colchester, Blandonsville, Industry. You're from here. So what was it that drew you back here and got you to stay here at MDH?
So MDH is like home to me. I am a fourth generation MDH employee. So my great grandma Nancy Weaver was one of the first nurses that they hired when the hospital opened in 1958. My grandma started working here maybe 10 to 15 years after that. She started as a CNA on acute care, and then she worked in peds, and eventually she worked as the unit secretary for home health and hospice, and she retired from that position after being at MDH for a total of 50 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah. My mom is here as an administrative secretary. She's Brian's administrative assistant. And so I'm now here as a fourth generation employee of the hospital. So it was kind of a thing where I always thought I might end up at MDH just because of that family legacy of working in healthcare.
So before we came on camera, I heard a story. You guys were at a speaker recently, and you got to be there with your mom.
Yeah.
Does that make it really special to be a part of MDH, to still have your mom working here?
It's so cool. My mom is down the hall from me. So if I need something in the middle of the day, I can run down the hall and grab her. But it's also just cool to think about like the legacy that leaves in the community, especially being fourth generation and female. I think that's just a really special thing for my family and for this community here.
So as we look at those kind of, you have a personal connection here. How do you use those personal connections when you're out trying to recruit a physician or a provider?
Sure. So I use the story a lot of my office, actually. So I'm in room 318, which was a room for patients at one time, and now they've converted it into an office space. And one of my favorite stories to tell physicians is that my great-grandma was sick in the hospital and was in that room, and that's where my grandma was recruited to join MDH. So my grandma had no plans of working in healthcare, but she was taking care of her mom as a sick patient, and the nurse at the time came to her and was like, "You are such a great caretaker. Why are you not a nurse? Why are you not doing this as your full-time occupation?" And so my grandma decided that healthcare would be her lifetime and like 50 years. And so she started working for MDH and was recruited right out of my office. So I just find that to be a really special connection when I'm looking to bring people to this community. Like, the recruitment started in this office 50 years ago, and here I am starting a whole new legacy of recruiting people. And I just am so passionate about this community, and I just love living here. I moved back here from Quincy, chose to raise our family here just because we really love Macomb, and we really love being in McDonough County.
So obviously the personal touch, you got the great personal story. You love Macomb. What does MDH offer to the providers and the physicians? What's the sales point for you on the professional level?
So because we're a small rural healthcare organization, your voice is heard here much louder than when you're in a large organization. So when you're in one of those larger hospital systems, you might be one of 15 to 20 providers in a specialty. At MDH, you might be one of two, you might be one of one. And so your voice in that medical staff office is going to be the loudest one in the room about your specialty. And that's a really unique situation for a physician to be, the main voice for speaking for pediatrics or for speaking for orthopedics or whatever that specialty is. You're it. You're the guy. You're the one providing the care for the whole community. And you don't get that if you go to a large healthcare organization.
So those bonuses are probably obstacles in some cases as well.
Sure.
So how do you overcome those obstacles?
It really depends on the provider. If someone is really wanting to be in a place where they're just in the background, they don't want to be that main voice, I kind of have to tell them, this is unique. It's a unique community where you're going to go out into Walmart to get your groceries and run into one of your patients, and you're not going to find that everywhere. And that might be scary for you, thinking about, well, I don't want to mess somebody's care up and then run into them and have to explain it to all of Walmart. But it's just, you can also sell that as you're not going to go to Chicago and work somewhere where you're going to run into your patients every day.
Well, Lindsay, I appreciate you coming and talking to us today. Hopefully some people can understand more about MDH and how it's such a family-oriented business and so important to McDonough County and the surrounding area. Keep doing a good job, and maybe your little girl that wanted that 100 chicken nuggets can be the next generation to join MDH.
Exactly.
Well, we'll be back after halftime here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adam's Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adam's Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
Welcome back to Macomb High School. Sweet Caroline being played by the Macomb High Pep Band. Ba, ba, ba. The best part of high school basketball is popcorn and the high school pep bands. It's awesome to be. We're right here in the midst of the pep bands. You can probably tell that by the fact I talk a little louder and the band is a whole lot louder. I'm Dwayne Hulett, John Burton alongside Joey Yelnick up top with the camera. 30 seconds left in the half. It'll be Bomber basketball, I believe, to start the second half. Leading scorers for the two teams, 6 points. Wrong one here. 5 points for Calargo. Sarcomo. 5 points for Aiden Almagar. 5 points for Jake Steele. 4 points for Nico Avendano. 2 points for Dame Thibault. And 2 points for Darion Smith for the Bombers. They're led by 10 points from Dion Doyle. 6 points from Drew Watson. 4 points from Ian Case on a couple layups. 2 points for Connor Bishop. 2 points for Malachi Conley. And 1 point from Jake Hobson. The Bombers are 2 of 3 from the charity stripe. Did the Titans really not shoot a single free throw in the first half?
They might not have. I don't remember them going to the line. We kind of saw that in the JV game, too, as well. Not many free throws in the first half for the Titans, and they came right out in the second half and took 3 straight trips to the line. So, see, maybe the varsity team can kind of replicate that here.
Ball kicked out of bounds. It'll be Bomber basketball. As we said, Bombers started the third quarter with the ball as the pep band files out behind us.
So what do you think, Dwayne? You said it's the first time listening to Macomb Pep Band?
Dion Doyle gets the bucket. First time this year, not the first time ever. They are a great pep band, great marching band, a great band in general.
Smith down on the inside working on Holthouse. Nice spin move. Layup is up and good for Darian Smith. He's up to 4 points on the night. Brings the lead back down to 2 for the Bombers. Holthouse has it, top of the key, working against Steele. Bishop in the corner, now Case. Bounces it over for Watson. Looking for Doyle on the inside, gets it to him. Almagar, nice defense there. Doyle saves it inbounds over to Bishop in the corner, and he's going to travel with it. 27-25, still the score. Monrose will take over on the turnover by Bishop. Clock rolls under 7 to go. Here's Sarcomo. Working across half court. He's got Bishop on him. Sarcomo drives in. Bishop. Nice defense there. Able to cut him off. Puts up the layup. That won't go. Smith, offensive rebound, blocked from behind by Case. Bishop is able to get it up for Doyle. Bombers trying to get out in the break here. Can't quite do so. Monrose did a nice job getting back on defense there.
Thanks for bailing me out, John.
Of course, as usual.
That's very accurate. Ian Case forced one up, got it partially blocked, and got it to fall. Ian Case has 6.
There we go. You want to see Case get going early on here in the second half. He started off the first half pretty slow, but that was a tough bucket there by Case working against a couple Titans.
Bombers have their biggest lead of the game at 4, 29-25. This has been a good one throughout. It's been close. Never has really been opened up by either team too much. Sarcomo, a little up and under move. Fancy gets the bucket to fall. He's got 7, team high.
That was a nice looking move there by the sophomore Sarcomo. This is my first time seeing Sarcomo this season. And again, I saw Monmouth-Roseville at the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. That's the only times I've seen him play. He didn't play there, but that was a nice move.
Ian Case tried to 3, won't go. Doyle with the rebound. Sarcomo is going to pick up the foul, I believe. He is. His first. Team's first. Is that really just their third team foul of the entire game?
I think so. It's been a pretty clean game. I don't think there was hardly any fouls called in that second quarter, maybe 1 or 2, but
Watson has a.
Go ahead.
No. Watson has 8 for the Bombers as he's kind of come to life here in the second half of the season offensively for this team.
Yeah, and you know Watson, he's a young kid, just a sophomore, I believe, so he's only got a little room to grow. You know, started off the season a little slow, but he's been playing well here recently.
Avendano tried a 3, and he might have just pulled a groin or got hit there accidentally. He was holding himself uncomfortably as he went down the floor. Now Darian Smith with a steal. That's going to be a travel. Oh, they're going to call a foul?
Yeah, I think they're going to call a foul here. It's going to go on Holthouse.
His first, team's first. I didn't see a whole lot of contact there.
No, I was right with you. I thought they were going to call travel before they called a foul.
Hop in the live chat. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. If you haven't shared the link yet, this is going to be a good one down the stretch. Share the link. Let your friends know where you're watching tonight's game. And Ian Case earned that one. Gave Avendano a little hip check right there. That's Ian's second, team's second. 4:31 to go here in quarter number 3.
And we'll see the patented Conley for Bishop swap there by the Bombers.
Avendano. Almaguard. Whoa. Tracked it down just before the half-court stripe. Almaguard with it again. Left side to Sarcomo. Holthouse tipped it away. And then got it back from Watson. Braden Holthouse gets his first 2. And the Bombers extend it to a 6-point lead, largest of the game. Now Malachi Conley with a steal. He's going to push it, and they're going to call a carry. Or a double dribble. Yeah, it was, I don't know that he ever actually did carry or double dribble it, but it was not a pretty little travel down the floor for Malachi Conley after the steal. Just never could quite get control of the basketball. 3:55 to go in the third quarter. Sarcomo with it far side. And that's a double dribble. That one was more of an obvious double dribble. Holthouse takes up the floor, 3:37 to go. Holthouse is going to get called for a travel, and he did. He stepped back, and then stepped forward before he dribbled.
So just all the violations in the book rattling off right here. We get the carry, double dribble, travel. Now we just need, offensive 3 seconds, 5-second violation, backcourt.
Yeah. We're halfway there.
Yeah, it's like we're playing bingo. We're starting to check them off the list.
You know what? We should start a TSSR bingo card.
Now that you say that, we could sell millions of those.
I think so. We should start that and give prizes away for the first person to get a bingo. Avendano goes to the rack and leaves one short. Malachi Conley gets the rebound. Holthouse to Watson. Watson for 3, right corner. Good at Sports Corner 3 for Drew Watson. He's got 11 points. And 3 of them are off Sports Corner, or 9 of them are off Sports Corner 3s. He's got 3 Sports Corner 3s. That's what I was trying to say. Were you following me? Darian Smith misses the shot. Doyle with the rebound, outlets it to Case. Case puts the shot up. Off, no good, but he's fouled.
Ian Case will shoot 2. Titan personal foul.
Darian Smith.
Darian Smith is first.
His first. Team's second. Ian Case, a couple free throws coming here. He's got 6 points, a couple layups, and then a basket here in the third quarter. Good from the free throw line. Tyler Finicum, the 5'10 senior, checks in for the Titans. And just like that, we talked about it being such a close game at 25-23 at the half, and suddenly it's 37-27. Second free throw, no good for Case.
Now the Bombers have really done a nice job here in the third quarter. Able to push the lead up to double digits. We'll see if they can hang on. I would expect Monmouth-Roseville to kind of come back here. They've looked really good here tonight. The offense is just kind of slowed down. Just need to pick up a bucket here and get things back on track.
Both offenses slowed down in the second quarter, and Monmouth just has not responded as much as the Bombers have. Tipped out by Case. Hobson's going to check in for Case. 2:16 remaining here in the third quarter. Bombers lead by 10, 37-27. Steele faked the handoff to Almagar. Thompson. Chasing. Watson was chasing Finicum all over the place. Now he's chasing Steele. There's been a lot of dribbling here. Malachi Conley with the steal. Avendano had a chance at the rebound. They're going to count the basket. Avendano hit the backboard. So a goaltending. Malachi Conley gets credit for the basket. And Langdon Lambert checks in for the Bombers. Deion Doyle checks out. 12-point lead for the Bombers now. 1:33 to go in the third quarter. Lambert battling with Almagar down low. Almagar forces one up over the top. Conley had the rebound, couldn't control it, and Avendano came away with it. 1:10 remaining. Finicum's going to try a long three. It's Art off back iron, no good. Holdhouse with the rebound. Braden Holdhouse going to set things up. Lambert to Holdhouse and just didn't take the time to get a good shot there.
No, and he had a little bit of time there. I think he could have turned and shot that one. Bombers did a nice job setting the back screen over there for Holthouse. Wasn't a defender in sight. Man, Conley just ripped that one right away.
Well, it was on. They're going to call a charge on Conley. That'll be his first. Team's third. And Almagar never did have that ball. He just kind of lost it on the way, you know what I'm saying? And when it came to him and it rolled, and then Conley just reached up and ripped it off his shoulder.
Yeah, kind of had it pinned with a hand in his shoulder, almost like the helmet catch, hand and helmet, hand and shoulder.
Steele had a chance at three, didn't take it, takes a two instead. It's off, no good, tipped around on the floor, picked up by Holdhouse. Into the hands of Lambert. Now it's going to go back to Holdhouse, right side. Oh, Watson on the dribble. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. One step back long three for Holdhouse, off no good, and that's how the third quarter comes to an end. The Bombers outscore the Titans 14-4 in the third quarter. They lead 39-27. Let's keep it here and do some live reads. What do you think about that?
I think that sounds like a plan.
This game brought to you by Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling. Since 1960, Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling has provided the greater Macomb area with expert sales, service, and installation of quality home comfort systems. Call your local Carrier dealer today at 309-833-2852 and find out how Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling delivers 365 days of indoor comfort. And Ronoby Auto Sales with locations in Macomb and Augusta. With 80 years of car sales experience, Ronoby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson, stop and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.lbsellscars.com to see their inventory. And Pawn Plus. Pawn Plus is proud to have served Macomb and the surrounding area for over 20 years, providing cash for most items of value. Pawn Plus is the area's largest seller of used items, including firearms. They also provide on-site jewelry repair, and are open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. They have a great selection of jewelry, electronics, tools, and video games located at 324 West Jackson Street in Macomb between Erico and Taco Bell. Fourth quarter underway. Bombers with a 12-point lead in a game that didn't look like it would become this, even though it's only 12 and it could be shortened in a hurry. It just, Sarcomo dumps it to Avendano, and he leaves one short. Doyle with the rebound. Kicks out to Case. Bishop.
Dion's got a big mismatch down there against Finicum. See if the Bombers can get it worked down to him. He's calling for it.
There it was. They got it to him slow. Avendano came over and knocked it away. That's one of those times where you'd like to have an isolation play where you can just move everybody and get him down in the post, right?
Yeah, he had Finicum on him for a solid 5 to 10 seconds there. He had his hands up in the air trying to get the ball. Bombers just weren't able to work it down to him.
Watson, pump fake, up and under move, lays it up. Oh, won't go, but he's going to get 2 free throws. Sarcomo. It is going to be on Sarcomo. Calogero Sarcomo. 7:12 remaining. 2 free throws coming for Drew Watson. He's got 11 points. Make it 12.
Returning from Monmouth-Roseville, number 4, Darian Smith.
Darian Smith replacing number 11, Peyton Thompson, for the Titans. Jake Sotos wanting a word with the official there during the break. Second free throw by Watson is off, no good. Sarcomo. Calogero Sarcomo. Now, Algar drives, missed the shot, but then Sarcomo comes up with as Case fouls Darian Smith hard. I don't think he meant to foul him that hard. It didn't even really mean to foul him, I don't think. Darian Smith, he thought he was going up for a block, and Darian Smith just jump stopped there, and he landed on him, didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, those are always a scary play in basketball when you got one guy going towards the rim, the other guy's trying to track him down from behind, throws up the quick jump stop, pump fake. One guy goes in the air, the other stays on the ground. Glad to see everyone looks all right after that one. That was a hard fall for Smith.
First free throw off, no good. He's got 4 points. Still nobody with more than 7 for the Titans. 6:42 to go in a basketball game. Bombers have 2 players in double figures. Second one is good. Steele, Smith, Almagar have 5. Sarcomo has 7. Ball's knocked out of bounds by Sarcomo. It'll be Bomber basketball. 4 for Avendano, who hasn't scored since the first quarter. They just haven't scored many points since the first quarter. They've scored 11 points since their 16-point first quarter, at 12 now with that free throw that was made. But the offense has went stagnant for the Titans, thanks in large part, I think, to some good Bomber defense.
Yeah, I would have to say so. I mean, as you mentioned, the teams really jumped down in that first quarter. We were going back and forth. It was a high-paced game. Both offenses slowed down in the second quarter, and as you mentioned earlier, the Monmouth-Roseville just really hasn't got back started up after that slow start to the second quarter.
Yeah, both teams were slow. They scored 7, the Bombers scored 9 in the second quarter. That's that same play, and then a reverse layup by Holthouse. He's got 4 on a pass from Ian Case. Just under 6 minutes ago, Bombers lead by 14, largest lead of the game. Almagar, left-handed layup around Doyle is good. Aiden Almagar has 7. Now, if you're a Titans fan, maybe the offense starting to pick up a little bit here, but you got to, with 5:30 remaining, you got to think, is it too little too late against a very good Bomber defense?
Yeah, and obviously it helps if you can get the offense going here, but you also got to get a stop at the other end. Bombers have been playing pretty good on the offensive end so far here tonight. Drew Watson has had himself quite a game, one of the better games that I've called for him here this season.
Ian Case down low. He'll put the shot up and leaves it short. Sarcomo in a race down the floor. He's going to dump it out to Almagar. Almagar across to Avendano. He's going to come to Smith. Long, though it's a three, it's good. Darian Smith gets the triple. He's got to get team high 8 points now. And the lead is cut to 9, 42-33. A 5-0 run for the Titans. We'll take a break. We'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH right after this.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
Welcome back to Macomb High School. Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling bringing you coverage of Macomb High Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Game brought to you tonight by Community News Brief, and there are two editions each week that you can get mailed directly to your home if you'd like. You can also pick them and their weekly news brief, midweek brief, up at area locations, select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, Blandesville, and of course, Macomb. 5 minutes exactly to go. Against the full court pressure now. We saw this in the JV contest. Oh, nice pass. And a bucket right off the bat for Nolan Hogue. He comes in the game and gets a good look. 4:38 remaining. Haven't seen Nolan play much this year.
At least on the varsity side, that is. But
right.
Man, he checked right in there. Got a nice feed from the outside, and doesn't get much easier than that for your first shot of the game.
And Ian Case is going to be called for a foul. That'll be his fourth. Hobson's going to replace Case. 4:23 remaining, 44-33. Sarcomo on the inbounds. Darian Smith.
Stepped on the line. Yep.
Yes, he did.
Didn't think they were going to catch that quite at first. Good defense there by the Bombers, able to force Smith out of bounds.
Doyle to Hogue, who has Hobson wide open, but he holds on to it. Gives it to Holdhouse right into a double team. Back to Holdhouse. 4:05 remaining. Watson far side. Doyle to Hogue. Doyle wants the three, takes the three, hits. No, he doesn't. I thought he was going to hit it. It was in and out.
Man, it was
Hobson with the rebound and the put back. It's off, no good. And then a foul is going to be called on Avendano, I believe. It is. His second. Team's second. And Hobson doing well there to get a couple offensive rebounds for the Bombers.
Yeah, and that's really what Hobson provides in off the bench. Nice no-look pass down low on the inbounds from Holthouse.
Hobson turn around and good. He's got 3. Yeah, that was – first I thought maybe Darian Smith might have hit it to him. It was such a good no-look pass. Almagar, Sarcomo, 3:22 remaining. It's back to a 13-point lead. Watson with the steal. Laid it off the glass to Doyle. Doyle from Watson. Now here comes another one.
Man, they're just having fun now.
Timeout coming or not. It's a 17-point game, 2:55 to go. And head coach Jake Sotos going to let his team play through it here, down by 17. 2:45 left. Sarcomo nearly lost it again. Almagar back to Sarcomo. Kicked out to Jake Steele for 3. He hit one earlier, missed that one though. Hogue with the rebound. 2:26 remaining. Looks like the bench getting ready to clear for the Titans, as we'll have a line change the next dead ball. Watson to Hobson to Doyle. He's going to drive again. Shot up, off, no good, foul called. He'll have 2 free throws. Avendano picks up his 3rd foul, team's 3rd. Doyle with 16 points, going to try to build on that. And if the subs come in, which they will after this first free throw, that means that unless the miracle happens from a sub, there will not be a single player. First one's good. He's got 17. There will not be a single player on the Monroe's team that scores in double figures tonight.
Yeah, you know, you look at the leading scorers. Darian Smith, he's got up to 8 points. Almagar has 7. Sarcoma has 7. Steele has 5. And like you said, not a single player within double digits. It's going to be hard to win ball games like that. I mean, you can see, they're spreading the ball effectively. There's a lot of good players on this team, but just not one guy able to really take over.
Doyle missed the second free throw, maybe on purpose, so he wouldn't have to come out. 2:04 to go, and a foul is going to be called on Nolan Hogue just to get Doyle out of the game. Lambert comes in, and there's the applause for Doyle as he leaves. Zariah Penn checks in. Tommy DeMarchi, coming in. So it's DeMarchi, Penn, Lambert, Hobson, and Conley on the floor for the Bombers. For the Titans, it is Ty Corsaro, Ivan Godina. Number 25 is Maddox Clark. Number 10 back out there is Andy Myers, and also back out there is Dame Thibault, as Hobson and Thibault doing battle down low. And Hobson's going to pick up the foul. His first, team 4th, 1:35 to go. Not sure what they were battling pretty hard there. I'm not real sure what that was all about, to be honest with you. Thibault did play a little bit in the first half, so maybe they were beating on each other a little bit then. I missed it if they were. There's a shot off, no good.
They're going right back to it too.
Yeah, they're not laying off each other. They're built very similarly. They are not. You can tell both those guys, physicality is the name of their game. And 1:15 remaining. DeMarchi to Hobson, and Thibault is going to pick up the foul.
Personal foul, 44, Demi Thibault, his first, team 4.
Team's 4th.
13, Isaac House, and 23, Martin Polk Jr.
Isaac House, and number 23, Martin Polk Jr. in the game for the Bombers. Hobson takes a seat. Marchi to Zariah Penn. His shot's good. Zariah Penn gets the bucket. 20-point win if it stays the way it is for the Bombers. Myers with it. No, that's not Myers, that's Corsaro. 45 seconds left. There's Clark. Corsaro. House slapped it away. Penn on it with it. Tried to go to Martin Polk Jr., did House, and he wasn't prepared for it. Lambert tried to get a steal. And a foul is going to be called. Free throws coming with 26.8 seconds left. Langdon Lambert going to pick up the foul for the Bombers, his first. Team foul number 5, Ivan Godina at the free throw line. 26.8 seconds left. First one's good for Godina. Gives him his first point of the night. Hit them both. Taking full advantage of his opportunities was Godina. DeMarchi, 20 seconds left. Penn tries to throw it off Polk. Does throw it off of Polk. Tried to throw it to Polk. DeMarchi now. Running the clock out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's the ball game. Did you see that they blew the whistle and stopped the clock?
Yeah, they were
3/10 of a second.
I think you wanted a 5-second call there. I think everyone else had different thoughts in the round. That would have been something.
Well,
we would have had fun with that one. I think.
That would have been helping us with our TSSR bingo cards. The 5-second violation. You said we needed one. Hadn't had one yet.
There you go.
Nearly got one.
That's one way to think about it. If we had those bingo calls, we'd start praying for stuff like that.
That's true. That's true. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with some leading scorers, and we'll see if Coach Anderson is going to come over and talk to us here tonight. We'll be back.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today and make your voice heard.
Welcome back to the hangar. The Bombers get a 53-35 win over the Titans in a game that was way better than that in the first half, but it just got away from the Titans as the Bombers really kind of just stepped up the defensive intensity in the second quarter and then never dropped it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, that second quarter, both teams really, really slowed down, the Bombers and the Titans both. And then coming out of that halftime break, the Bombers just played with a lot more fire. They were really able to get out of in that third quarter, put some points on the board, and Monmouth just really wasn't able to come back after that.
So the Titans, as we said, not a single player in double figures, which says something about the Bombers' defense. They did have a lot of players score, but nobody in double figures. 8 points for a team high for Darion Smith, 7 points for Aiden Almagar, 7 points for Calogero Sarcoma. I've said it like Sarcomo. Said it like 7 different ways tonight, and I still probably never one time was it correct. 5 points for Jake Steele. Those were all in the first quarter, too. 2 points for Ivan Godina, who scored those in the fourth quarter with 20-some seconds left. Nico Avendano had 4 points. Those were all in the first quarter. And Dame Thibault had 2 points. That was in the first quarter. There was just not a whole lot of scoring. They had 16 points in the first quarter. They had 19 the rest of the way.
Yeah, you definitely look at a stat like that, and you see why the score ended up the way that it did.
For the Bombers, they were led with a game-high 17 points for Dion Doyle, who finished 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. 12 points for Drew Watson. He was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 7 points for Ian Case. He was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Jake Hobson had 3 points. He was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 4 points for Braden Holthouse. 4 points for Malachi Conley. 2 points for Connor Bishop. And 2 points for Nolan Hogue, who came off the bench there in the fourth quarter, kind of surprisingly, and got a couple points right off the bat for the Bombers. And that's the scoring there. 53-35 the final. Nobody fouled out for either team. No technicals, unlike the JV game, which kind of ended that one in an odd way. But it is postseason now. That's what means, I know Monmouth-Roseville has another game, but for all intents and purposes, everybody's looking to next week, the start of regionals. Macomb is at the Farmington Regional, correct?
Yes, they do. Macomb picked up the 2 seed over there at in the Canton sectional. They will be playing the winner of Farmington and Canton. That game between the Farmers and Canton will be taking place on Monday. That'll be at 7 o'clock over in Farmington, and the Macomb will play on the following Wednesday, again taking on either Farmington or Canton over there. That should be a pretty good matchup no matter which team gets in.
Yeah, that was a little bit of craziness the last time they played at Farmington earlier this year. Farmington did beat Macomb. But Macomb has gotten, I think, a lot better, and they did not have Dion Doyle the night that they played in Farmington.
Yeah, and obviously Doyle, a huge difference maker for that Bombers squad. Again, he finished with the game high. What do you have, 17 here tonight?
17 tonight, yeah.
He had over 20 the other night against Camp Point.
Monmouth-Roseville does not get the benefit of skipping to round 2. They have to play on Monday, correct?
Yes, they do. Monmouth will be taking on Rock Island Alleman. That'll be Monday. That'll be at Monmouth-Roseville. And then they will play Taylor Ridge, the number 1 seed in the Canton sectional. Of course, that's Rock Ridge. We saw Rock Ridge a little bit earlier on in the season. They were able to knock off Macomb in the championship game of the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. They got a heck of a ball club over there led by Landon Bull, who picked up the tournament MVP.
And they're in what regional? Is it the Monmouth-Roseville regional too, isn't it? So they're in the Monmouth-Roseville regional. The Bombers are in the Farmington regional. So Bombers have a shot to get out of that Farmington regional. They've played pretty well this year, and they gave up they had some losses early in the season to some of the teams they're facing, but you should be able to watch Farmington regional action next week here on TSSR Game Time Live. Southeastern and I believe West Hancock regional action. We're still trying to find out if we're going to do sectionals from Canton and Bushnell next week. So if we do that, it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Boys are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Girls sectionals are Tuesday, Thursday. So a lot of great basketball to come, and then we'll have sectionals the next week. For sure, the A-Town sectional for Class 1A the next week, and we'll see what happens from there. But a lot of great basketball. And the original March Madness is in full swing with the girls. We'll have the regional championship from here at Macomb High School tomorrow night. That'll be Monmouth-Roseville, the lower seed, taking on the number 1 seed on the regional, the Canton Little Giants. So a lot of great basketball to come here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. As always, Arnold Brother Heating and Cooling brings Bomber Sports to TSSR Game Time Live. As we've kind of tried to wait on Coach Anderson, but I don't know that he's even made it up to talk to Justice yet, to be honest with you.
I haven't seen him sitting over there, so I would assume not.
I haven't seen him walk out of the tunnel yet, have you?
I have not. I've been looking around for him, and nowhere to be found. MIA.
Coach Sotos is up talking to the crew on the far side over there with the radio, but nothing from Coach Anderson yet. It is the final game of the year, though, so have a few words to say, I would imagine, in the locker room after this one, as the Bombers get the big win, a much better second half, and I think we'll just call it a night. What do you think? Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right, so thanks for joining us here from Macomb High School, the Hangar, for the final regular season time of the year. The Bombers get a 53-35 win over the Monmouth-Roseville Titans. For John Burton and Joey Yelnick up on the camera, I'm Dwayne Hulett. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you tomorrow night from this same exact spot, girls regional final. It's Canton and Monmouth-Roseville. See ya.